Hello and welcome to another edition of Healthy Pros Expert Series. Today we're going to be doing a Marketing 101 lesson, specifically about messaging for school nutrition professionals. My name is Laura Thompson. I am the Senior Marketing Manager here at Healthy Pro, and I've spent over 2 decades now in marketing. So I get to talk about all things messaging, product, promotion, price, all of those fun things. And that is what I love about marketing is it's different and it's interesting and it deals with where psychology and business meet. And I just find that fascinating. So this is one of the things that has been a mantra for me in my career is that marketing isn't salesy. It's an education. And so if you're thinking, I'm a food service director, I'm not in marketing, I'm not in sales, you're right. You're a food service director. You do food, but part of what you get to do with your job is promote your program. And so we want to do a few tips today in this video that will help you tell your story. Because one of the things we have seen time and time again with the districts that we work with and people that we present with is that if you don't tell your story, someone else will. And so we want to give you some tools to tell your story in a way that's effective and impactful. Your job is to make it as easy as possible for your community to see that you provide incredible value with your meals. So again, we want to give you some tools in order to help do that. So marketing has what's called the 4 Ps. It's product, price, place, and promotion. That is all across the board in marketing. And you don't have in your position maybe influence on all 4 of those, but you do have influence on some. And so you probably have the most influence on product, what you serve and the experience that the students have. And you have a lot of influence over promotion, the messaging that you get out there, the education that you share, and the channels through which you share that message. So one of the things we're going to talk about here is control what you can and name what you can't. Let people know if something is outside of your influence. Things that are not in your control, you can't change that. You don't have control over eligibility and reimbursement rates. You don't have control over district policies, staffing, supply chain issues. We've seen a lot of that over the last few years, and time constraints. If that's out of your control, that's fine to name. But if it is in your control, take that and do something with it. If it's the story that people hear, you absolutely have control over that. And you can help shape that. You can tell your story. You can be very clear in your message. And I think that's one of the great opportunities about learning a little bit about marketing in your field is you can become very clear in the message so that whoever's receiving it receives it in the way in which you intend it. Consistency of communication is also super key. If someone's just hearing from you once a year, okay, that's a little bit challenging to make sure that the story is being told in the way you want to tell it. But if there's consistency, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever the right cadence is for the type of message you're sending, that consistency will be key. Then there are small experience wins that you can help have influence and control over as well. The friendliness of your staff. When a kid goes through the line and that staff member remembers their name or remembers that, oh yeah, you like apples, cool. That's a small win, but it makes a big difference. And then something else in your control that's very effective is how you pair your heart behind the message. And that's one of the things we love about this industry is how so many people in this industry have heart. And so how can you pair that heart with some proof? So again, there's stuff that's in your control, and we want to help give you some tools to message with that. So how do you get the right message out? It's getting the message out to the right people, the right message, the right time, and in the right channels. And these are a few ways in which you can do that. So with the right people, it's obviously students, and then their families, teachers, staff, principals, district leaders, and then the community. So it starts small and it gets broader as it goes out. Then you want to get the right message out to people. And it's helpful to have, okay, what is the main point for each audience that is the important thing to hit on? If it's students, is it, there's a certain menu item that's on the menu that day that they get super excited about, then that would be the message of what you would want to send to the students. To the parents, it would be that it covers all of the bases with nutrition. For the administrators, it would be that you're within compliance, so there's going to be a different message for each audience. So you want to make sure that you're hitting the right message for each of those audiences that makes sense for them. And then the right time, whether it's back to school or if there's a menu change or if there's a National School Breakfast Week, National School Lunch Week, make sure that the message aligns with the right time for you And what I love is I think the why moments, capturing why it is that you do what you do and why you work so hard to get these awesome kids these great meals, put those why moments all throughout, and that will help. And then you've got the right channels. And there are so many channels now through which you can market your program. Emails, website, newsletter, if you've got an online menu, the social media channels for your district, signage, PTA, principals. There's so many different ways in which you can get the message out in all of these different channels. So this is an acronym that I think works really well for the kind of work that you do. So heart, how can you get heart behind what you are getting out there? So for the H, humans first. Make sure that you are spotlighting the students, that you are spotlighting the staff. We see incredible work going on behind the scenes. And if that can get shown a little bit and shown that these are real people that are working really hard to get these great meals in front of these students, that will help show that's humans first. And then I also love for E, effort that you don't see. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that I think would be interesting and impactful for the people seeing it to know, oh my gosh, all of this goes into getting these meals for my kid. Awesome. So whether it's about prep or safety or compliance or all the training that you have to do in order to get these great meals in front of them, show that effort that they can't all see so that they can understand, well, all of this goes into making sure my kid has a healthy meal. That's fantastic. For A, after effect, how can you link meals to learning and well-being? And that goes back to the education portion that we talked about. This is where it's not salesy. It's about educating the community on the benefits of having these nutritious meals. And I think that's very important to do. And then R, tell a real story with the message that you're getting out and tell a real number. Is there an anecdote that you can share? Is there a number that you can share? What was the number of meals that you served that day, that week, that month, that year? Numbers are something concrete that people can grasp onto and they'll remember. And then if you tell a story, people remember the stories too. And then for T, thank you and an invitation. Gratitude goes a long way and it softens the heart of the receiver in a way that they might be able to remember it really well. And then with that gratitude, you can go on to the next step. And I love a couple of examples here. And this is, how can you pair the heart of the message with proof? And I loved this. So for example, we served this many meals last month, and here is what we heard. And did you get some feedback from some of the students? And could you share that in a way that would be either cute or funny or interesting, or would express how delicious one of the meals was? I think that could be really helpful. So get a student quote, get a parent email, something that the staff said, maybe the principal gave a shout out, and find a way to get that in the message that you are sharing out there. And remember, always keep it human, keep it true, and keep it short. It doesn't need to be very long. It doesn't need to be a TLDR, too long didn't read kind of a thing. If it's short and snappy, that can go a long way. So think of 3 things you can do this month as part of your marketing messaging. So write one North Star message. What is going to be the lens through which you want the community to see your program this month? Is it something about something about nutrition? Is it something about a new meal that you are doing? Is it something about a new ingredient you're trying? What is the one main message you want to focus on this month? And then pick one audience, one specific audience. Is it families? Is it students? Is it staff? Pick one of those and message to that audience this month with that specific message. And then figure out which channel would be best to reach that specific audience. What would be the right cadence? Would it be daily? Social media often lends itself really well to daily. Would it be weekly? Email newsletters can go out well weekly. What is the right channel for the audience that you're looking to message? And then figure out a cadence and a rhythm for what you're looking to do. Is it a staff spotlight in week number 1, a menu highlight and a student quote in week number 2, something behind the scenes in week number 3, and maybe week number 4 is where you have that impactful metric and then a thank you. So again, start small, stay consistent, pair heart with proof. It doesn't have to be a big, overwhelming thing. Just remember that you are trying to get the right message to the right people at the right time. You pair heart with proof, and you will be able to see some really great work happening in a way that they can receive it.